All right, so we have this question here. There's a lot going on here, but let's just break it down one by one. So let's just look at the first box first. So we have these test scores from the invertebrates physiology class, whatever that means. The mean is 33, so I'm going to write that. Mu is 33. And my standard deviation, sigma, is 5.2. So it wants us to find the numerical value that cuts off the top 10%. So if I draw my normal curve, like so, let's see if I can do this. Okay, like that. My mean goes right in the middle. So let's just say I gave you some value. I said, all right, this is the value 50. You could find the area above and below the curve. It looks like by my math that you know how to do that. So now I'm going backwards. So now I want to find the value of x that cuts off the top 10% or the top 0.10. Okay, it cuts off the top 10%, or that's the same thing as saying it cuts off the bottom 90%. So this is 90% below that x value. So the process before, if I was given the x value, you would take the x value, you would use the z-score formula. I'd say z equals x minus mu divided by sigma. And then you would look that score up on the z table, and you would get your area under the curve to the left. Now I'm going to go entirely in reverse, okay? So what I'm going to do first is find my area on the z table and work backwards to get x. So I'm looking for, on my z table, I'm going to use the side where it has it, which is larger than the mean. So I'm looking for the top 10% or the value that cuts off the bottom 90. So I'm looking for 90% somewhere in this big array of numbers. So they do go in order. They kind of go like as you're reading a book. So I'm looking for the number as close to 90% as possible. So you'll see it's somewhere around here. It looks like this is as close as I can get to 0.90. Okay. So the z-score associated with the bottom 90% is 1.28. So the z-score that cuts off the bottom 90%, this z value is 1.28. Is that what I said? I already forgot it. 1.28, yes. Okay, so that is my z-score. So I have my z, I have my mu, I have my sigma. I can find what that x value is. So now I'm just going to go backwards. I have, using the formula from above, I have 1.28 equals the mu, I'm sorry, x minus the mu, x minus 33, divided by 5.2. So now I'm just going to solve this for x. Multiply both sides by 5.2. So I have 1.28 times 5.2. I get that. And then I'm going to solve for x. I'm going to add 33 to both sides. I do plus 33. So it looks like the x value I get is 39.656. X equals 39.656 or 0.66. There's only two decimal places, I think. And no, only one decimal place. So it should be 39.656 or 39.7. So a value of 39.7 cuts off the bottom 90% from the top 10%. So this is going to be from 39.7, and they can get as high as 100. But if they get 39.7, they're in the top 10%. Okay, so now this says scores above the bottom 69% and below the top 10%. So I know the top 10% bound is 39.7, like so. Okay. Oh, I'm technically sorry. So since this is 39.7 and these are brackets, I have to actually make this one less. It can't be 39.7. There can't be overlap. So this has to be 39.6, like that. So now I need to figure out, I'm going to erase some of this stuff. I'm figuring out, my computer's going super slow for some reason. I'm going to figure out now the scores that are above the bottom 69%. So 69% is going to be somewhere. Oh, I want my marker. There we go. I wanted it green. This is annoying now. It says it's green, but it's not coming up green. There we go. So now I'm looking for this x value. We'll call this x1. That cuts off the bottom 69%. Okay, so I'm going to find this area. Well, not that area, but find the two x values. This is the one I already have. I need that one. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to look for as close as I can get to 69% on my z table. So I'm closer to the top, so I'm looking for 0.69, 0.69. So here I have 0.6915. Here I have 0.6879. This is what? 0.0021 away. This is 0.0015. We'll go with this one. This one looks to be as close as I can get. So my z-score is 0.50. So the z-score I need there is 0.5 or 0.50 equal to x minus 33 divided by 5.2. I'm going to do the same thing. Solve that for x. 0.5 times 5.2, add 33. So I get an x value of 35.6. So that x value of 35.6 cuts off the bottom 69%. So this is going to be 35.6. Like that. Okay, now this says scores above the bottom 31% and below the top 31%. Okay, I'm going to erase what I have so I can draw a picture of that. Nope, come on, what is going on here? Super slow. It's getting tired or something. Come on, give me a pen. Okay, 33 in the middle. Now I'm looking for the values that cut off the bottom 31%. So this is 0.31. And the top 31%. So you're just going to find them one at a time, okay? We'll call this x1. We'll call this x2. It doesn't matter. x2 might be easier. So you're going to look up 0.31 on our z table. So I'm going to look up 0.31 on the z table. It's going to be on the other side of the z table because it's less than the mean. 0.31, or as close as we can get to 0.31. Okay, we have 0.308. Looks like we're off by 0.0015, 0.0021. This looks pretty close. 0.31. If you can't decide, you can always take the average of the two. This looks like negative 0.50. It should be good enough. So my z-score is negative 0.50 or negative 0.5 equals x minus 33 over 5.2. Solving that for x, I'm going to get negative 0.5 times 5.2 plus 33. So this x value is going to be 30.4. This is going to be 30.4. And I need to do this, okay? But since it's symmetrical, you could just make this positive 0.5, but let's see if we can do this. So it looks like I'm looking for the value that cuts off the top 31% from the bottom. We already said 69%. So we already have that value. This is positive 0.5. So this is going to be this number here. So this is going to be 35.5 down to 30.4. Okay, now this says scores above the bottom 10% and below the below the top 69%. Well, that's this value. They kind of match out. They did it on purpose. So this is going to be from 30 up to 30.3 and down to the bottom 10%. I'm going to erase this one more time. So we get, I'm looking for the z-score that cuts off the bottom 10%. 33. Looking for the bottom 10%. So in the z-table again, look up 10%, 0.1. How close can we get? 0.1. This looks pretty good to me, right? That is negative 1.28. That makes sense. It's symmetrical. Our answer before was positive 1.28. So this is going to be a z-score of negative 1.28. We get x minus 33 over 5.2. Solving for x, negative 1.28 times 5.2 plus 33. So this is 26.344. So this is going to go down to as far as 26.3. Which means this can go as high as 26.2 and as low as 0. It's a lot, but you can kind of reuse numbers because it's symmetrical. If you happen to have a TI-84, let me know because there's a much faster way to do this in the calculator as long as you have a TI-84. Otherwise, you're stuck using the z-table.